Hello and welcome to a Pilates-inspired yoga class to grow your glute strength. When you're ready and on your mat, we're going to come to a tabletop position. So on tabletop, all fours, hands and knees, we'll just take a moment to warm up the spine. So an inhale will arch your back, lifting the chin to the sky. And an exhale will round your back, looking at your knees. And just some slow cat-cows to connect your breath to your movement, arching your back and rounding your back. And a few more, maybe closing down the eyes, slowing the pace of the breath down to the movement itself. Articulating the movement from the hips, the pelvis, up the length of the spine, through the shoulders and into the neck. Just take one more cycle, full breath in, full breath out. Neutral your spine and take a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees from the mat. Again, just warming up the body, wanting to make sure the body is warm before we start our activation of the muscles and the movement itself. So you might pedal out the heels, one knee bends at a time, letting your heart move open to the back of your mat. Coming to stillness, knees can be bent, heels drop to the floor, just take a breath in. And out. Return back to your tabletop position, all fours, hands and knees. And just take a child's pose, rock your bum back to your heels, let your arms soften down by your sides, just give the arms and the wrists a break for a moment, letting the back round, and taking this moment just to connect inward. Awareness of body, awareness of breath. Back to tabletop position, and we'll prepare for the first movement. So shoulders above wrists and hips above knees. Draw your navel up and into the spine so your low back flattens. Donkey kick your right heel up to the sky. Your knee is bent at a 90-degree angle, and the foot is flat like you're pushing it up on the ceiling itself. You're just going to lower and lift your right knee from the mat. Lower down, kick up. Every time you kick up, you're squeezing your glute at the top. It's a brief pause. And we're doing about 10 here. So seeing if the hips can remain level and if the weight between both of your hands can remain even so that the movement is really just isolated into the right hip itself. Starting to build that engagement in the right glute muscle. We're about 6, 7, 8, 9, and at 10 here, you're just gonna hold at the top, little pulses up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick up into the air and then straighten your right leg and point the toes to the back of the room. Your right leg is going to swing out to the side. Tap your toes outside of your right hip. Lift your right leg up into the space. Swing it behind you and cross behind, tap to the left. And then continue like that, like you're arcing the right leg up, over and around, tap to the right. Up, over and around, tap to the left. Good. And then continue with this movement, keeping the right leg really strong, really long. Again, you're not transferring your weight too far to one side every time it swings up and over. There's this sense of balance in both of your hands. This sense of squaring off in the shoulders. And even the core remains active here. So the hips remain level, really isolating the movement into the right hip itself. Finding about 5 more, seeing if you can keep your breath calm through the movement. Noticing if you're tensing up the jaw in any way. You might even feel a bit of the fire moving into the bottom left hip itself, the standing left hip. And that's good. That means both sides are working. We have about 3 more here. Keeping it slow, finding that big arc of your heel up in space every time, like you're drawing a big rainbow up, over, and around. Last one here. Tap, up, over, and tap. And then the next time your right leg swings out to the right-hand side, keep the leg long, toes pointed. Lower and lift the right leg from the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your leg up in space and bend your right heel to the bum. Re-straighten your leg, keep the leg floating for 10. Bend and straighten, 9. Squeeze heel to bum and straighten, 8. Keep both hands pressing down, 7. Keep the breath calm for 6. Keep the leg high in space for 5. Navel draws in for 4. Hips level for 3. Find the shakes for 2. Last one, you've got it. So strong. Bend your heel in. Lower your right knee to the mat. And then step your right foot between your hands so you're in this low lunge shape. Tuck your left toes under. Lift your chest up and bring both hands on your hips. You're looking for about 90-90 in the knees. Back toes are tucked under. Draw the navel in so you stay stable in the core. And then you're going to be lifting your back knee from the mat. You're going to tilt your chest forward so you hinge from your hips slightly. You might need to bring your back heel a little bit closer in towards you. And it's a pulse of the front right leg. Lower and lift for 10, 9, hinge forward, 8, drive the right heel down, 7, 6, good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stay low, curtsy lunge, your left foot steps off of your mat, and then both knees or your right knee externally rotates, and it's a pulse again, so 10, lower, 9, 8, keep hinging forward, 7, 6, 5, good, 4, good, feel that outer hip working, 3, 2, 1, stay low, come back to that original short stance lunge, dipping the chest forward. You can keep hands on hips for balance. You lift your left foot from the mat like you're coming into a warrior 3, straighten your right leg, and then step back down to that low lunge stance. Drop it low. Like that for 9, kick up, straighten, step down, hover your left knee from the mat. Take it slow, 8 to gain the balance, and step back. 7, really squeeze your right glute underneath you, and step back. Keep the spine long, 6, straighten and lengthen, bend and hover. 5, draw the navel in, control the lower down. For 4, squeeze the right bum and lower. For 3, push off, step down. For 2, lengthen, step down. Last one, keep the strength, lift and lower. This time, place your left knee down onto the ground, both hands frame your front foot. Step back, tabletop position, both palms flat. Whew. Take some movement to flush that out. Hips can rock left and right. Just feel the remnant of that fire in the right hip. Maybe some cat-cows again. Slow the breath down. And let's even return just to a child's pose to switch sides and reopen that right hip from all of that engagement. Maybe some rock side to side, feel nice. Beautiful. Let's come back to tabletop position. If you need to roll your wrists out, feel free. So in tabletop, once again, you draw the navel in, the core is active, and we're switching sides. So the left heel kicks up to the sky, it's a donkey kick. 90-degree angle in the left knee, the foot is flat. And then your exhale lowers the left knee to hover from the mat. You donkey kick left heel to sky. Just like that for 9, lower and lift. For 8, lower and squeeze at the top. 7, like you're stamping the ceiling, lift up. For 6, shoulders level. For 5, hips level. For 4, shoulders level. For 3, keep the low back long. For 2, navel draws in. Last time to kick up and pause, little pulses up and down. For 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick up, keep kicking, and straighten your left leg. Point the left toes. You swing the left leg out to the side, tap the toes to the floor, pick it up and draw that big arc up, over and around, cross to the right, look over your right shoulder. Up, over, and lift, tap to the left, pick it up, over, and lift, tap to the right. Continue with this movement, drawing that big arc every time you come up and over. Trying to keep your left leg as high as possible in space, squeezing as you lift up, controlling as you lower down. Left leg remains long, left toes remain pointed. And again, there's this even weight distribution into both of your hands. I know it feels like you want to just lean over to one side, but I really encourage you to try and stay balanced in the spine. And keeping the core active will really help taking the effort out of the low back. Only about 3 more. Keep breathing. Unclench the jaw. Relax the shoulders, keep the effort where it needs to be. Really nice, just 1 more. Up, over, and around. To the left, pause, left leg stays long. Lift and lower the left foot from the mat for 10. 9, keep the left leg straight. 8, 7, 6, 5, even press into the hands. 4, 3, 2, lift and hover the left foot, bend your left knee, heel to bum, straighten the left leg. Good, repeat for 9. And straighten, bend for 8. And straighten, keep the leg high. 7, and straighten. Good, 6, push evenly into both hands. For 5, keep the chin off the chest. For 4, activate the glutes. For 3, keep breathing. For 2, squeeze heel to bum and straighten. Last 1. Good, and then the next time you bend your left knee, drop your left knee down to the floor. Step the left foot between your hands and lunge. Holy moly. Good, let's rise up through the chest. Bring both hands on your hips, stabilize yourself. Again, it's a shorter stance of the lunge, so you're looking for about 90 degrees in both knees. And then tuck your back toes under. Navel draws in for balance. And you lift your back knee from the mat. It hovers from the floor. Hinge from your hips, dip the chest forward, navel to spine. Again, if you need a shorter stance, make it shorter. We pulse, hover the back knee and lift up for 10. For 9, pulsing. 8, lower and lift. 7, drive the front heel down. 6, 5, lean forward. 4, 3, 2, 1, stay low, curtsy lunge, step your right foot off the mat, keep both knees bent, short stance, lower and lift for 10, 9, good, 8, 7, keep leaning forward, 6, 5, 4, 3, lean forward, 2, 1, stay low, step back to that short lunge stance, keep your hands on your hips, keep leaning forward, and warrior 3, float your right foot from the mat, both legs straight, spine long, step back to that low lunge stance, hover your back knee. Just like that for 9, kick off and straighten, step back to hover. For 8, warrior 3, lengthen and step back. 7, squeeze the left glute and step back to hover. For 6, kick back, step down. For 5, lengthen and step back. For 4, kick and lengthen, step back. 2, straighten both of your legs, hover your back knee. Last one, and step back. Good. Place your right knee on the ground. Both hands frame your front foot. Step your left knee underneath you. Take what you need. Shifts, sways, rocks, sighs, whatever it is. Take a moment, just slink back to your child's pose. Find neutral spine, arms by your sides. Good. When you're ready, you can lift your chest back up. I hope you enjoyed this glute activating class. I know that was a burner for myself, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you very soon.